blockers are pretty much for everybody with any coronary issues. That has changed. So this is the reduced AMI acute MI trial, open label trial performed in Sweden, Estonia, and New Zealand. All of these patients, 5,000, had an MI within the last week, and they had undergone angiography and and an echo, and they all had preserved ejection fraction. Only 22% women, I wish it was more, but the vast majority of these patients that just got an MI were treated with dual antiplatelet therapy and a statin. So they just had an MI and they're on the right medications. Should we add a beta blocker? So they were randomized to receive a beta blocker or no beta blocker. They used metoprolol and bisoprolol. They have target doses listed there. If they were in the no beta blocker group, they were discouraged from using beta blockers, and if they were on a beta blocker for hypertension, they tapered it off. No difference in outcomes. So it didn't prevent all-cause mortality or MIs, or just all-cause mortality here. It didn't affect that. Cardiovascular-related deaths, no difference. Hospitalizations for heart failure, no difference. They do say that they expected a certain number of events and it was lower. It's possible that they were underpowered, but you don't even see a signal in these numbers. You know, the confidence interval, the number one, is well within the range of confidence interval of all of those. So, evolving data, not everybody with coronary artery disease needs to be on a beta blocker. New medication for treatment-resistant hypertension, aprocitentan. Trivio is the brand name. I do not expect this to be a blockbuster. Show you why. So it works on endothelin, that's fine, because endothelin does vasoconstriction, so hopefully that will be beneficial. Indicated for resistant hypertension. There is a REMS, restricted prescribing program due to the risk of potential embryo-fetal toxicity, and the prescriber and the pharmacy must be certified. That's one reason that it may not be a blockbuster. But it is effective, but the numbers are less than compelling. So this study was a blinded, randomized, phase 3 study conducted in a whole bunch of places. All of these patients had a sitting systolic blood pressure of at least 140, and they were already on at least 3 blood pressure medications, including a diuretic. On the medication, they did have their blood pressure fall, less than 4 points. It is statistically significant on the difference, but 4 points is hardly, a world record or anything when getting blood pressure down. If you go to GoodRx and punch in this medication to try to figure out what it costs, it's not even listed. They say, the manufacturer has some discount cards available. It looks like it's about $10,000 a year. Adverse effects, 90% of the people on the lower dose had edema or fluid retention. The lower dose is the one that is FDA approved. There was no difference between 12.5 and 25 milligrams on how well they worked as far as controlling blood pressure. Finerenone, we talked about it a little bit. It is a non-steroidal mineralocorticoid receptor antagonist. So what it has been shown to do thus far and is FDA approved is in patients with diabetes with chronic kidney disease. It decreases the rate at which estimated GFR declines, the rate at which people end up on dialysis. It also appears to help with some cardiovascular outcomes. So far, only chronic kidney disease in patients with type 2 diabetes is what's indicated. Not surprising, hyperkalemia, potentially hypotension, and maybe some hyponatremia as adverse effects. This is the Fidelio diabetic kidney disease study, phase 3 study, double-blind. All of these patients, so they have type 2 diabetes and they have chronic kidney disease, they should be on an ACE inhibitor or angiotensin receptor blocker. So everybody was on one of those for at least a month prior to being started on finerenone. They adjusted the doses of those medications to get the maximum tolerated dose that they could for the patients. And then they started them on finerenone, certain doses depending on their estimated GFR. They tried to get them up to 20 milligrams. If there was a reason, hyperkalemia, that they needed to decrease the dose from 20 to 10 milligrams, they could at any point in time. Not going to read this to you, but these are kidney outcomes. Some of these are mortality. Finerenone better is pretty consistent. Some of them are statistically significant, some of them are not, but I think it's pretty hard to argue. You've got to admit it looks like finerenone may not be a miracle drug, but it appears to be beneficial regardless of what kind of outcome you're